All right, good evening everyone and welcome to Thursday Night Yin. We're going to be in for a really strong treat. We're going to begin today kneeling. So in the Zazen or, Japanese style position. And again, by placing that support, again, you can use a bolster that slides really nicely, or again, if you had a wobble cushion that can slide under, but basically just taking some of the weight off of the ankles and the knees for the tailbone. So the larger the object, the better. And of course, if you wanted to, you could even go in so far as to fold your bolster and sit up, and that feels really powerful as well. So always adapting, right? Always changing. So I'm going to go on this level because that feels good for me, and then tighten everything up. And then once everything is nice and tightened up, get into a good position and let's start to breathe. Deep breath in, full exhale, let it go. If you have knee injuries, right, you're gonna flip that bolster this way, okay? Just to give you guys a few different modifications. But again, just breathing and feeling. All the way in and all the way out. And as we breathe in all the way in, all the way out, start to move your spine forward and back. And one of the great focus points that you can draw your attention to and the awareness of the breath is the heart. Right? So you're just moving the heart back and forward, exploring your Vajrasana, right? Or thunderbolt pose. The hips and heels are connected, right? Remember, there's no curling of the toes. Totally relax onto the tops of the feet. And the tailbone is nice and grounded onto the support, arms straight. Again, just moving around gently, forward and back. With each breath you take, feel how much articulation, how much heart center you can draw up, chin down. Feel that energy and then push that heart back, almost as if you were going into cat pose. Right, so inhaling up into a slight back bend, almost as if it was cow pose. And then exhaling all the way down as if it were cat. Good, so just feel that. And if you feel like lifting up the head at any moment, going into full cow, and if you feel like dropping down and pushing back into cat, feel free. What's important here is not so much the movement, but the breath that informs the movement. We've discussed this a few times before. It's never a one-to-one ratio. It's never inhale up, exhale down. That's rudimentary. Want to evolve from that practice, change, grow. Inhale, hold the breath, come forward and back. Exhale, hold the breath out, go forward and back. Feel for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. From here, lean onto the right side, bring the left leg out in front, and just very gently and slowly start to make your way into a position where you can come forward. And if you wish, you can curl the toes behind you, or I like to just leave them out. So that's up to you. Some people prefer to curl the toes, but again, behind you, I just like to leave the toes out. I'm just saying flat on the floor, right? That's really important. Good, we're just doing our gentle warm-up series here, which is really great. Warming it up through and through, getting into a nice position here. So it's a half squat, right, in a way. And again, heart forward, heart back, heart forward, heart back, bringing that weighted pressure into the ankle as we go forward and back. And again, as that heart goes forward and back, you're gonna feel all sorts of connection. Good, when you're ready, keeping that leg where it is, start to lean onto the left side. Take some of the weight or pressure off of that right knee, and then you can slowly let the left leg come forward. So again, we have that support underneath our hips. Our one leg is bent underneath us. The other leg is straight, and we're just moving side to side. Again, of course, you can do all of this without the bolster, right? It's just much harder. Again, I would suggest starting here, working your way through it. I just want to show you that ultimately all of that we do here with the sport could be done without the support. But we're taking a gentle journey, just warming it up. Good, feel. Now start to lean back nice and gently. As you lean back, we're going into a half saddle. So the leg is out in front. Then we're coming back into a half saddle. Good. So just like that, leg out in front, half saddle. Stretch back, reach back. And if you can, slowly start to make your way down towards the floor. Deep breath in, deeper breath out. And what's nice about this gentle journey is, as you can see, it's a slow journey, right? From straight arms down to elbows, and then eventually you can make your way all the way down onto your bolster completely, right? And then again, this leg is nice and relaxed. Again, you can find that perfect position. I'm going to teach, so I'm going to sit upright more, but ultimately finding that place of surrender, relaxing, letting go. And again, nothing long here, just a nice warm up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, coming up nice and easy. As you come up, work with that leg, move around your hips. Again, try and get comfortable having that hip and heel connected. You're going to feel all sorts of sensation in the lower body starting to dissipate. Remember, there's more mystery than matter, and especially when it comes to strong sensation, that's just filling up the space. Right? It's like having one fan screaming and yelling for the opposite team, right? If all of your energy, if all of your intention is focusing on one side, which is healing, right? Then that means we accept all of it, right? The polarity or the sort of polarization of whatever's happening within us, right? From displeasure to pleasure, from pain to pleasure, right? From suffering to pain to pleasure to joy, it all connects somewhere in the spectrum. There is a balance point. So just moving around, feel. And now let's start to switch. We're going to switch to the other side now. Again, that leg's going to release. It's going to feel good. Tuck the other leg underneath. Again, find your way coming up nice and easy. Just putting that weight over top. Stretching here, feeling here. And again, this is like taking, again, a half kneel, right? Again, taking a knee. You'll hear this expression many times. It's a very reverent position. Very rare that we do it. We usually go for the full squat, but we will. But again, leading up to it, it's nice to build ourselves up. It's nice to feel one side, then the other side. And again, this is a very beautiful posture, very functional posture. That's why, again, always encouraging all the little micro movements forward and back with the heart. Just start to feel where your body is at in this moment. Fantastic. Again, starting to shift that weight over towards the left side by bringing ourselves over to the right side. So again, nice and open, it's relaxed. Again, the foot is behind. Good. And then bringing that foot out in front. And then again, as the foot comes out in front, just start to forward and back, right? Find your way into a comfortable position as you lie back. And remember, as we lie back, the beautiful part about lying back is you can take one elbow down at a time, right? Don't have to go all the way down, right? But if that's available to you, you don't want the knee sticking up, so make sure when you come a little bit forward, right, or even off of your bolster, right, you can lie all the way down comfortably. Again, it's just there to support you. Of course, for me, it's not necessary. I'm just going to take it to the elbows today, again, for the warm-up, teaching, and this feels more than enough of a stretch. Getting that half stretch, enjoying it, feeling it. As you can imagine, at the end of practice, we're going to revisit saddle. We're going to enjoy a nice yin variation of it. But we're going to get through some postures and movements that are really going to help us through the sequence overcome, maybe perhaps, what we're feeling lightly on one side or the other. Good. Breathing all the way in and all the way out. Beautiful, guys. And when you're ready, slowly coming up, and again, feel. Heart forward, heart back. And get yourself nice and comfortable, moving around, feeling now slowly, gently, soles of the feet to the floor, both of them. Again, I'm still sitting on my support. No problem with that. Start to rock the knees side to side, side to side. Again, I like to connect one knee to one foot at a time. Left and right, super easy. And feel that sweetness through the body. Again, breathing and feeling. Beautiful. Good. From here, we're going to take the left knee out in front. You're going to take the right leg behind you. So I just like to lean onto the left side. And again, fighting our way into the same position, but this time we're going to do dragon pose. So coming forward, stretch the back leg behind you. Okay? So I'll show you from the side. Looks like that. So I was in this pose. There's holding my knee. I come forward, stretch my back leg behind me. Good, guys, fantastic. Once that leg is stretched out behind you, this really has no use till when we come back, so it can just stay there, or you can move it around. Some people like to bring it out in front so they don't have to go so low. Again, find where it is you can rest here in your dragon pose. But the whole point of the dragon is to drop that hip. So the first minute in all of our postures is to get comfortable, right? It's for me to set the clock, right? Everything we need to do in our bodies, in our minds to make our way into comfort starts now. And that's the beauty of each and every yin posture, right? Taking that full minute to relax, to let go, to let be. And then once you get to that minute marker, again, just relax a little bit more. And how do you do that? Well, you move from a comfortable edge, right, where you're comfortable, to an uncomfortable edge. And that's where you're uncomfortable. One of the funny ways of describing it is being uncomfortably comfortable with yourself. So when the anxiety arises, when the excitement arises, when the energy arises, that we can arise within it, right? Through it, in it. And yin is really about that process, about enduring. It's like Viktor Frankl said, all that is light must endure burning. And the beauty of that line is that, the Buddha said to live is to suffer. What we didn't realize was that suffering was the very nature of the mind, and that in itself is how one becomes liberated and realized, just through awareness, by doing nothing but being into your seeing. That the greatest meaning that we can make as humans is our being. Relax that hip down, breathing deeply. Remember, if I wasn't teaching, I would just be breathing. As a student that is embodying the living teaching, feeling how the teachings are affected by your own intention, right? Because the guru is within, right? Always follow the teachings, never the teacher, right? That is the journey of awakening the guru within. Very, very important. So we've been about 3 minutes in the posture, give or take. We're going to just spend a minute more. And again, just relax that hip down, even more so. Find that nice steady breath, because that nice steady breath is going to bring you to that next comfortable edge. And the breath will start to contract and tighten. And then you just want to loosen and lighten it, breath by breath, moment by moment. Breathing all the way in and all the way out. That hip is making its way toward that heel. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly coming up. Again, enjoy a whole 30 seconds, minute. Don't come out of the posture. Play within it. Okay? Don't come out of the posture. Play within it. Focus forward, right, back, side to side. Feel, feel, feel. very important. Right? The more you can flow, the more you can let it go. Right? As soon as we get stuck on thinking about it, trying to rationalize it, then it's a calculation. And we want to make sure when we are thinking about things, we want to, measure twice before we cut once. And so with, our yoga, we don't have to think in such terms because we're never cutting, right? We're liberating, right? And if there was such a thing as cutting, it would be to break free of the granthis, to cut the attachment or the ties that bind us. Because to be entangled is to be enslaved. Beautiful. So you might feel much more looseness happening down the hip. We're going to change legs. Again, placing that support in between your legs, you can just make a quick rotation through the tabletop position, this time right leg out in front. Again, if you want, you can start by sitting down on your support and then getting comfortable by coming forward and stretching back, but ultimately you don't really need this. I just keep associating to it because you may want it for later. As I showed you in the last round, as you stretch that leg back, you might want to be a little bit higher up. That helps with the hip coming down. Again, there should be no pressure in the knee. The knee can lift up and down. And again, if you feel as if there's something too much happening down in the knee, again, something as simple as a pillow, right, can go underneath that knee. Right? Just like this, always remembering that, you got to be your own guru. You got to fight for it. And when I say fight for it, in Yin, that means surrender, right? You just got to be as comfortable as you can be. I'm super comfortable, right? And so now I know I have the confidence to endure, right? Just like Viktor Frankl say, all that, shines, all that is light must endure burning. So again, if you want that permanent lasting change for flexibility, it takes work, it takes effort. But within the effort is the reward. And that's breath by breath, moment by moment. That's why I said that's the fight. And that's the yogic fight, because that's the fight that leads back to the Bhagavad Gita with Arjuna, right? That's that epic poem, the poetic of the warrior, what it is to have will, right? Because that's what it is to be a warrior, right? A warrior is one who has will, who commands, who is not commanded, right? A warrior has no oath other than to themselves and to those they love, right? And so that's the will of the yoga warrior, right? Within oneself, right? To be uncommanded even by oneself. To be free and to flow, right? Free to flow. Let it go. Moving it through. Final 30 seconds in the posture. Really just enjoy the burning, the sensation, right? As that sensation gets stronger, right? You grow lighter, right? As the pain increases, so too does the feeling of liberation. And again, it becomes a joy to endure. It takes time to get here, but once you can, you'll want to hang out longer and longer and longer. Because the fact is, everything we could ever want or be, we already have and are. And so health is something we are merely awakening within ourselves. Wonderful, guys. Slowly coming up. Again, side to side, enjoying and really exploring here. This is where we get to feel that permanent lasting change. Remember, at first it didn't feel this way. Now it's starting to feel this way because we're feeling the change. Once you start going into the postures, it's a lot like melting plastic, right? It's permanent, right? We twist plastic, we bend it, it just snaps back. But if you apply some heat to it, you can permanently form it. And that's like our bodies, our ligaments, our tendons, and our connective tissue. Beautiful. When you're ready, place that beautiful object all the way behind you, back into your sort of Vajrasana, right? And we're going to make our way slowly back to saddle. Nice and easy, stretching both legs. Again, nothing too long here. I just want to keep prepping it. Just keep working it, as this is going to be our final posture of the evening. So again, nice and easy now with both legs coming out of the lizard pose, right? Out of dragon, right? How does it feel, right? Tailbone curls, tailbone curls, heart forward, heart back, heart forward, heart back. Again, micro movements. Micro movements increase circulation, right? What else increases circulation? Respiration, the breath. Right, breathing and feeling. Again, just a nice little prep there to start it up. Good. Coming forward now, we can remove the support. Don't need it. Just keep it off to the side. You may want it a little later. Good. Coming into a cobbler-like position. When I say cobbler-like, I just mean keep it loose, keep it open. Right? Just play around a little bit here. Get comfortable. And start to shift your cobbler from right to left. So bringing the left foot in, coming forward, bringing the right foot in, coming forward, nice and easy, guys. Just nice and easy, nice and light. Just working with it nice and lightly, working with your body, working with the bounce, rolling over those sit bones. And remember, always going with the breath. Noticing I'm not forcing down or trying to get my head to the ground, right? That's not yoga, right? It would be yoga if I did it like this. Right? That's totally yoga. Right? That felt good. That breath went all the way through and so did the movement. Right? But again, we got to get there. And we get there piece by piece. Right? Softly and slowly along this gentle journey. Fantastic, guys. When you're ready, both soles of the feet together. Rock those hips out left and right a little bit more. And when you're ready, start to bring your your elbows just over top of your knees and rotating left and right as you look left, as you look right. As you look left, as you look right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and best part, 1. Just dive right down, especially if you can bring your arms underneath your legs. Use your forearms to bring yourself down into your variation of the cobbler. Remember, the wider out your arms are, the more you're going to feel it down into your hips. You can always use your wrists as a bit of a support to keep your hips from opening too much. Because again, all of these movements we do in Yin create that permanent lasting change. It makes us feel, again, 40 years older than our age. It doesn't matter what age you are, you will feel 40 years older. So if you're 100, you'll feel 140. Right? Everyone knows what it is to feel just that much older, right? And that's the feeling. And that's the feeling we're trying to keep away. It's like dust. And as long as we do our yoga, right, just like showering, we stay clean, right? And we can use water as a resource, right, to clean us externally and nourish us internally. But just like yoga, we can do it the same thing, right? Yoga can nourish us internally. It can also help keep us healthy and strong externally. And that's one of the beautiful things about this spiritual practice, is that it does involve the body, right? So important, right? To remember that, not just that life is sacred, but that your life is sacred, and to feel the value of how you value life. How you value yourself. And remembering breath by breath, right? Again, yoga is not teaching how to live your life. Yoga isn't even teaching why you should live your life. Yoga is just teaching life. That is it, right? The how and whys are all subjective, right? Throughout the generations. But what is objective is the teaching. And that's what we're dedicated to follow. So as we come into our cobbler pose even more, start to relax the head even more so that, again, the crown of the head, the top of the head, comes all the way down towards the feet, towards the floor. And again, you can use your arms to help you. Again, micro movements, breath by breath. The only reason I don't drop my head and pull down is because it's going to be very hard to hear me. And so I just lightly take the posture. But again, emulating the depth through the teachings, earning that edge, right? That comfortable edge, you'll start to feel almost like a pushback, or you might feel that your breath is starting to contract, or you might notice your fingertips start to shorten, right? As you start to make a fist, or maybe your face starts wanting to move around, like twitch or itch, right? There's so many things that could be happening. What needs to happen in the practice is that all of that is happening and you are just aware of it. And like a sinking stone, right? What's its purpose? Well, if the stone's purpose is to think about what its purpose while it's falling into the ocean, it's too late, right? Its whole purpose was to be released from the top. Once that purpose has happened, just like us, is to live, to have life, and to share that life, amplify that livingness amongst all those we love. Amplifying it, breath by breath, posture by posture, practice by practice. Good. We're making our way almost to the 4-minute marker. Let's enjoy that final minute in the posture with a nice strong Brahmari. And as we Brahmari, again, you're going to send that healing vibration, nose to toes, crown of the head to your tailbone. Deep breath in all together. Good. Deep breath in. Come all the way up. Release your arms from underneath your legs. Exhale back down. And just relax. Final minute in the posture. Just enjoy. Letting go, letting be. Just your cobbler. Wonderful and free. Good, guys. Breathing it through, feeling it through for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly coming up. Wonderful work. Don't take much time. Come all the way back behind you. Lie down on your back. Draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Good. Again, and as you give yourself a nice squeeze, just roll right and left. Nice and easy. Right? Let it flow. Let it go. Awesome. Beautiful, guys. Now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to bring the soles of the feet to the floor. We're going to lift those hips, but we're going to do it slowly, slowly. So again, 1 inch at a time or 1 millimeter at a time, just starting to lift the hips up and then bringing them back down. And again, finding a new position for the feet, start lifting up and then back down. Again, first minute in the posture, just really taking it in, right? Moving it through. I'm starting to use your elbows a little bit more as you pull up and down. And again, just feeling it, crown of the head to your tailbone. It's amazing medicine. You become your own chiropractor, right? That's what yoga promises for us, long life, right? And not just long life, but like good life. That's what it means to live a long life, not a tiring life, right? It's being awake to our waking, right? All the gratitude, all the gifts, right? We have so much to be infinitely thankful for, even in our lowest moments, right? Just think of it. You could have your lowest moment in a wheelchair, right? You could say that is worse, but it might not be worse, right? It could get far worse than that, right? How could it get worse than that? Well, the imagination can think many things, right? But rather than think how it could be worse, we could also think how it could be better. And some people think that's good to do. Ultimately, it's neither, right? good nor better, right? What's important is it's not one is more important than the other. It's good to do both at the same time. In every moment, in any moment, it could be infinitely worse or it could be infinitely better. And so with that in mind, let's pop up into our bridge pose, nice and easy. Again, first stage, just use your elbows. Second stage, you can bring your arms to the floor. You can hold on to your heels. I like that one. Or third, you can crawl it in even more. You just seatbelt your grip or interlock your fingers and then walk your shoulder blades in. Again, lots of different variations you can do. I like the foot one. Been working with that one. So again, just going to choose what to do. Again, since we've started, from the beginning, it's been 5 minutes. And so now we're really just into the yin now, into the full 3-minute hold. Just enjoying and breathing and being, right? Finding that comfortable edge. And here the comfortable edge is actually up higher. And that's why it's interesting to think of it not so much in terms of an edge, because then you're sort of limited to gravity, but rather always a corner, like turning a corner, right? Wherever that corner is, wherever that edge is, right? It is an edge. But again, it's more like turning a corner as the figure of expression. So if my comfort is, I don't know, here, that's comfortable for me. This is my comfortable edge. I can breathe here. I'm steady. I keep pushing hips up, right? That feels good. But after a while, it starts to hurt. It gets hard. And as it gets harder, right, that's where the will comes in, right, to endure. And in yin, you can't just start bouncing and hopping around. What you need to do is surrender. So there's the will to surrender starts to become available to us. And that's really what our practice is. You can't get there any other way without actually enduring. And again, like Viktor Frankl said, that which is light. So again, that which is the brightest parts of yourself, that which is what you want to share with others, that, right, in order to shine brightly, must endure burning. Right? It's no different than our practice, right? In order to be happy and healthy and fulfill all the things that yoga promises for us, internal and external, right? We have to be healthy. We have to be accepting. We have to work. We have to apply that effort. And some of it is effortless effort, but it's still effort. Right? It's selfless, selfishness. Right? What's selfishness, right? It's taking care of yourself. Right? Because if you're not going to do it, why would anyone else do it? Right? It's absolutely 100% essential that we each take care of ourselves. The issue with the world is, not that human beings aren't capable or good at taking care of others. So we're not so good at taking care of ourselves. And so we have a lot of broken people and a lot of people who are well, who are trying to help a lot of broken people while they themselves too may be breaking. But of course, we've broken through. That has been a full 4-minute hold. Let's slowly come down and draw our knees into our chest, give ourselves a nice squeeze, and feel that connection to the tailbone. And again, very therapeutic. Reach on through, grab the outsides of your feet, lie on back, and stretch in happy baby. Nice and easy. Again, if that's too hard, just drop it down into a modified version of happy baby, or take it all the way out into stirrup. Either way, right, make yourself into a good way. And that's the beauty of happy baby, really elongating down along the floor of the spine, right? Relax your head. If your head's not relaxed, right, you can always put a bolster or a blanket underneath. I like having the flat neck, tucking the chin, right, and really pushing down, right, centering all the energy on the heart center. If I can get that tailbone down, pop heart forward, right? So again, I'm not curling down, I'm elongating my spine and finding that yin, right, by relaxing my arms, right, relaxing my shoulders, breathing all the way in, breathing all the way out. Push that belly button all the way down towards the spine. Let the breath become longer and longer until there's No thought of breath. That your body is just oxygenated. There's no need to breathe. And the breath just becomes as light as in deep sleep. Right? In hours, time, right, just disappears. Right? We can go to bed and wake up, and it can be minutes. We can go to bed, wake up, it can be hours. Right? Same too with each and every posture. Some of the movements feel very quick, some of them super slow. Right? Follow the teachings. Right? Go into that deeper introspection with yourself. See what needs to be liberated, because everything you could ever want or be, you already have and are. Right? Everything we consider to be a weakness is just a future strength. As long as we keep practicing, one foot in front of the other turns into 1,000 miles. Right? That's all it takes is a single step. We know this to be true. Right? Now live it, breathe it, be it. Invite it in. Release it all around. Deeper and deeper, right? Feeling that strength in the posture. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower down onto the ground. Take a deep breath in. Go up into bridge pose and Brahmari. Relax down on the ground and windshield wiper your knees side to side. Well done. That feels really, really good when you Brahmari through. Again, as a counter pose from a position we just took. So we did the bridge, then we did its counter, and then we went back into it with the Brahmari. And again, you can feel what you're working with, right? You can experience yourself. This is not something that someone is telling you, right? Again, we're not following the teacher, we're following the teachings, right? And that's what yoga is. And if there's anything about it, right, that hurts, doesn't agree with you, right, you just let it go, right? You just do your thing, right? Because it's all about the self, yourself. And it's been passed on through the self for thousands of generations. And so now we get to be the living, breathing generation of this moment, of this time, carrying this energy forward for future generations. And again, that's what I said. All that is light must endure burning. It's not easy, right? Not all this is easy. So remember that, especially as we make our way into our next posture. Beautiful. So slowly coming up. Again, I'm going to do 2 variations of the form. So you can bring out your bolster behind you. And again, one thing is we've talked about with squat is bringing the heels to the ground. And again, this is known as Indian squat. So this is a nice squat. If you've never practiced this one before, it's quite a nice movement. You can try it out. Feels really good. So get a little bit closer. Good. So again, getting into that squat, right? Eastern squat or Indian squat. And again, pushing those heels down, pushing those heels down. And you'll notice you'll have a chance to heart forward, heart back. And if you wish to remove the bolster, right, you'll just see what will happen, right? It's very hard to stay in this position. So even having it just lightly behind you or not at all, again, adjusting, this is one variation. If this is too hard, obviously opening up, and we can just take our beautiful squat. So again, enjoying all the different variations, same, but different, as we're making our way into our master pose, into saddle. So again, just working those hips, all those different variations. And don't worry, I promise to give you a beautiful counter once we complete it. But in the meantime, from here, just relaxing, breathing, and being open into the squat, or again, feeling as if you want to attempt it, trying for that more narrow variation. Again, putting that weight all over top of the ankles and then having almost to shift it forward in towards the toes, getting that stretch all the way forward. Either way, whichever one you're in, the narrow version or the wider version, relax your head, let go, and just let it be. And relax your head, shoulders, and just let everything relax. If you need to move, just sway like a willow tree. But again, all movement will eventually start to slow down as you go from comfortable, right, which is what we were just departing from, now into more comfortable edge, right? Okay, there it is. Right? Oh, look, the breath has changed. Deep in that breath. Ride that edge as if it was the most important thing in the world, that keeping yourself alive was the most important thing in the world, right? We take for granted, again, that the breath just comes and goes but never leaves. Imagine if you had to work for each and every breath that you took. That's what yoga is. Imagine if breathing went from involuntary to voluntary, right? That's what we're hoping to transition, but of course you would never want it fully voluntary. But imagine if it was. Imagine if you had to breathe every single breath. You had to physically do it, just like snapping your fingers or clapping, right? It was something that was easy, but we had to do. And of course, there is a part of ourselves that does do this. Right? And that's the part of ourselves that we have to really understand is what we're loving when we are using the expression self-love. Right? That is what we are loving, that part of ourselves. Right? That part of ourselves that just does for us. Right? It does good for us, it does bad for us. Right? It just does. And our job is to give it thanks. Because again, if not us, then who? Right? If not for yourself, then why? Right? What's important here is right in front of you. It's within you, and it's all around you. It's how we or ourselves interact with our world. And that is the joy, that is the life experience of yoga. Right? Being aware of the mind and the body through the breath. Being able to hold and endure all these beautiful postures with gratitude, with grace. The more we can relax. Beautiful. That is well over 4 minutes. Slowly, just make your way to the backside. And again, windshield wiper the knees side to side. As they come through the center line, right, back bend, right, forward fold, into back bend. Whoa. Again, I like to take it very narrow, but again, you can open it up, play with different ranges. Whoa. Just help that energy dissipate, move around, let it flow. Good, let it go. Fantastic, 2 options here. Which one you prefer to do, yogi's choice, either legs straight or legs wide, but we're coming on through. So whichever you prefer, right, we're coming on through. So again, if we're doing it with a forward, we're all doing the same thing, right? You might just be grabbing the feet, right, from the outside, right? There's no need to do that, right? We just want to reach for the inside, so that's good too. So again, either way, just make your way into the one that feels right for you today. Open or, again, more narrow, just like our squat. Again, options are great. Do the one that feels the best, right? Because all you're expected to do is your own best, right? There's no one else's expectation, right, that you have to live up to. That's the beauty of this practice. Feels so good saying all of it, living it, breathing it, being it. Such a wonderful, wonderful thing. But the most wonderful, of course, is sharing it. All right, so let's start to go down. Feel the hips. Again, first minute is all about getting comfortable. All I'm doing is, again, heart forward, again, heart back. Heart forward, heart back. Stretching it out. Forward, back. Again, my feet are relaxed or I'm curling my toes. And again, just going heart forward, heart back. Stretching here. First minute, just getting nice and comfortable in the posture. And again, letting it flow, letting it go. Good, last one. Fantastic. Now, when we come forward, watch my elbows, right? You can just look to the screen. Again, bend your elbows. Oh, that's too easy. Come a little more forward. Bend your elbows. Oh, that's too easy. Come a little more forward. Bend your elbows. Again, if you're doing straight legs, it's exactly the same thing. Bend your elbows. Okay, same feeling. Again, work your way into the posture. Right, take your time to get there. Again, slowly, slowly, step by step. Now, at this point, you're going to feel a point where you can't get your elbows down anymore. Right, or maybe you're all the way flat on the ground. Maybe you're already there. Regardless of where you're going to be, if you're already flat on the ground, it's still heart forward, heart back. Right? If you're working your way that way, it's still heart forward, heart back. But again, you want to eventually heart back, full surrender, because the head is going to lead, take you the rest of the way. Again, I'm just doing a modified version of it for teaching purposes. But again, if it was up to me, I'd be going all the way down, 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 breath by breath, using the whole stretch, right? 360 degrees of this stretch, right? Trying to work it all the way through, from the hips, through the heart, and into the head. Nice, powerful stretch. And again, right, this is a beautiful forward fold, either wide-legged or straight-legged. Either way, yogi's choice, we are enjoying this level of surrender. Right, so breathe here, feel here. Full inhale, full exhale. Right, you know you're on the comfortable edge because you can breathe like this, but if you go a little bit more forward, right, the breath starts to change, or strong sensations start really occurring, almost too much that you can't bear, or your body bounces out, right? Lots of things that the body can communicate to you. Your job is to listen, right? Your job is to respect yourself. Your job is to impress me not by touching the floor or touching your toes, but by respecting yourself, not to ever injure yourself, because that's not yoga, right? That's why I feel totally safe teaching online, because we constantly are giving precautions, doing preemptive stuff like a warm-up. But ultimately, the only thing that is ultimately going to injure us in this practice is our own sense of ambition and drive. Right, our own stubbornnesses, right? We didn't say go over the edge, right? We didn't say to break down, right? We said to break through, right? This is a healing practice. This is a healing journey, It's not that we can't push, not that we can't try, right? Like I said earlier today in one of the classes, as long as you're breathing and you're breathing with awareness, there's pretty much, infinite forms of pranayama and posturing that can be explored, right? It may even start to emulate almost martial arts because it starts to become so dynamic, so vinyasa. But ultimately, there's nothing to say that it can't become that, right? Where did these 4 curves in our spine come from, right? Where did we grow from? Where are we growing into, right? Where did you grow from? Where are your roots? Where were your seeds? Now look how far you've come, right? Homewards towards the heart center, towards yourself. It's a long journey, right? From family to friends, and now, honestly, fostering a relationship with the self. Very, very beautiful. All right, final minute in the posture. We're going to enjoy a nice Brahmari, and then I'll pull us out. Deep breath in. Wonderful, guys. Slowly, slowly coming up. Take your time. And again, soles of the feet to the floor. Rock your knees side to side. Again, super easy and super steady. Again, breathing all the way in. Breathing all the way out. All right, so let's try it out. Saddle. This is a very difficult posture for many. Again, one of those postures we like to practice, right? Very important that we do practice it. Again, something we may not like doing, but again, the preference of like is not really necessary, right? It's effort reward. So in order to get the effort of health and wellness, right, we have to go through sort of the effort or the reward of that. We have to go through the effort, right? No difference than the candle, right? The light must endure burning. So again, I'm going to put a support here because I know myself. Again, you can put it on the tailbone so you have just something to sit on, right? That feels comfortable, or you can just leave it all the way out if you prefer just to wait on the things. But I'm going to put it just right underneath the tailbone today. Okay, so getting into a comfortable position, into a good way. Good. All right, here we go. So now from here, slowly we're going to drop back. Right, left, right, left. And again, just stop here. First full minute, as we were earlier in our practice. Again, heart forward, heart back. Again, don't underestimate, the little movements. They make the biggest differences, okay? So never underestimate the littlest movements. Sometimes make the biggest differences. Good, feel. All right, fantastic. Now, if you wish, it's a slow, gentle journey, right? So again, curl that tailbone. That's why we did that bridge pose. Curl that tailbone. And as you push that tailbone forward, start to slowly, slowly come back. Again, you're gonna come back one elbow at a time. If that's too much, right? If you can't breathe, you've gone too far. And again, for me, this is perfect. I might relax my head down or just chill a little bit, curl. Yeah, it feels better. So again, just loosen it up and then keep the curl and relax. Again, my chin totally relaxed, just tucked down. And again, I'm pushing the body down, 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 down. So as you can see, if I show you in time lapse, that's kind of what it looks like, pushing it down towards the ground. Okay, so I'm going to stay here, then I'm already down here, so working it through. Again, this is definitely a comfortable edge for me. You can hear it in my voice, right? The shaking. But the breath, there it is. Right? That's where it's uncomfortable. So I am on my comfortable edge. But I can already tell I'm getting comfortable breath by breath. Again, I like to support my head with my arms, since I'm all the way back, right? I'm using the bolster, right? If I wasn't using the bolster, it could just be on the ground. Again, a little less comfortable than this, but this is nice because we get to slowly, slowly work our way into it. And again, as you work your way into saddle, never underestimate how powerful squeeze glutes, release glutes is, right? Never underestimate how powerful hands behind the head are, tucking chin, right? Just let everything relax. See if you can lengthen that whole spine. We've done all the prep work. Again, happy baby, we wanted the tailbone down. In this posture, we want the tailbone almost up, almost like in bridge pose. Because up is going to push those legs down far up those thighs. And again, by anatomically positioning yourself up, right, tailbone curls, right, you get to relax all those hyper tense muscles. And you might feel them start to voluntarily or involuntarily contract. And the more we can breathe deeply, right, nose to toes, crown the head to tailbone, the better. And remembering, if at any point this is uncomfortable, you got to come out, right, or take a lesser part, right. Over time, you'll be able to just sink into it and endure, right. This takes years. Yoga is not built in days, right? It's built in years, and some would say in lifetimes. Good. From here, when you're ready, slowly, slowly, arm at a time. That was 4 minutes. Start to come up, straight arms, and again, just curl it in, feel, feel, feel. Feel, feel, feel for 10. Just left and right. Nine. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Now best part. 1, slowly, slowly start to come up. Put more weight onto your hands so your feet can come underneath you. Good, nice and easy. Lie directly on the floor. Good. Nicely done, everyone. And again, just relaxing here on the floor. Just take a moment, right ear to the floor, left ear, whichever ear. Just deep breath in, deeper breath out. And welcome to Yin. Right? Nothing to do but be, nothing to see but what you most truly are. Right? And again, getting all the benefits right now of being on a beach, all that effort, right? All that resources to get that same experience you can have just from your home, just by applying a little bit of effort to get that neuropsychological change, that biopsychosocial change that yoga practice can bring from the macro level all the way down to the micro level, right? From the universe right into the cell. Good, change it up. Now left ear, And because we've done left here, I'm just going to switch sides for our sake. But for your sake, just stay exactly where you are. And just relax there. Good. Just breathing and feeling. Legs relax, hips relax. Really breathe all the way in and all the way out. Move your spine with your breath. Good, last one. Fantastic. Good. Rolling over onto your back, nice and easy. Stay grounded, right? Stay nice and comfortable. Again, start with soles of the feet on the floor. We've done lots of work. Want to make sure everything in your body is relaxed for your Shavasana. You'll even notice that I put the pillow under my head, right? I just want to make sure my body knows that this Shavasana, right? The intention is to totally lay out and relax. So again, I'm going to start with the legs. If the legs don't feel good, I'm just going to bring them back. But if the legs do feel good, oh yeah, it feels great, right? Stretching it out. And again, try with the head. If it doesn't feel good, I'll put it back. But if it feels good, oh yeah, which it does, just let it go. And again, flat on the floor. There's no greater feeling of grounding than this, right? You can be in the top of the Himalayas, right? Grounded is grounded, no matter where we are. And I remember being up there and just feeling the energy, you know, underneath you, of the highest point on earth, all that energy, all the earth energy, right? Coalescing into one point, right? Feeling that sensation many times around the world, right? Whenever you're on a mountain, right? The higher you are, right? The more the feeling of grounding becomes, because space becomes more sacred, more precious as you go higher. Being able to get flat earth is rarer, more for the valley. And so that's the feeling we want to have right now. We want to sink like a stone, right? Right? The stone's purpose, if it's a sinking stone, right? Then the whole purpose is for the stone to sink. So there's no need to question, right? Once we release the stone in our mind, we let it drop into the ocean, right? It just floats. If the stone asks, why am I floating, right? It's forgotten its intention, its original purpose, right? Which is to sink, which is to surrender. The stone is not separate from the sea, right? The stone in many ways is the sea. For without the stone, there would be nothing to hold the water. So the earth and the sky are the extremes, like hot and cold, between or within ourselves. So above us, only sky, below us, the earth, and in between is ourselves. So we're taking all that earth energy from the center of the earth, right directly to our heart center. And then around us, nose to toes, right? Feeling it all around you. And then the space, as you breathe and be, right? You fill the space and then fill the home with the same light and effort of your practice, right? Because without you, there would be no home, right? So your efforts are there. And just feel that reward of when your home is your heart. And you can just be. Because once you go beyond the home, right, there's only the heart. And the heart is everywhere. And that's why wherever we go, your home is where your heart is. Let's chant one Brahmari nice and strong, and let's sink a little bit deeper into Shavasana. Deep breath in. slowly rocking the head side to side. Twinkling the fingers like stars. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Rolling left and right. Nice and easy. Oh. Waking from your awakening. Slowly, slowly coming up to a comfortable seated position. Remembering at the end of practice, even though class ends, right? The experience or the practice of meditation can begin. And let me tell you, there'll be little to practice when we leave these states of deep, deep yin, because you're almost already there. You just need to apply it to the sitting up position. And that way you can hold that same feeling in Shavasana here in sitting. Right? Just being and breathing. Let's do 3 Brahmari. Bring your palms together and start to move within and around your spine internally, through your mind's eye, scanning the spine, massaging the spine. Again, just like starting a fire with your hands, using sticks, and getting that strong friction. Again, wet, the wood will not light. Dry, it's almost effortless. That's the same feeling with us right now with meditation. Right? It's very easy to be in that state. So let's feel the antenna, right? The spine. That's what directs this conscious awareness, control. Remember, without it, you're not feeling anything. Once the spine is severed, right? From whatever point it's severed from, right? There is no sensation. There is no signal. And so what we're feeling right now, right, is the bioelectrical signal of ourself. We're feeling the thermal temperature of our bodies. You can feel almost that there's a warmth to you, and maybe perhaps if your house is like my house, maybe a little coolness in the air. That you are the warmest thing, and this fire is deep inside. So we're going to stoke that fire. We're going to keep that fire alive. We're going to keep it burning bright. So what makes us yogis is that we practice yoga every day. We're going to chant the mantra Om, slowly bring the palms together, and as we do this, we'll come into Namaskar Mudra and close the practice. Deep breath out. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Peace, peace, peace. In your hearts, in your lives, in everything that you see, are, and be. The divine in me sees and shares the divine in you. In love, with love, through love. Thank you everyone for coming out today. Namaste. Yay, everyone. Such a beautiful class today.